Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Thanks for tonight. Hello replay viewers, nice to see you guys here as well. Thanks for coming in. Hello, I see you popping in. Thanks so much guys. I am gonna flip you around. Hello, and we will get going. Hey there guys. How's everyone doing? It's Wednesday evening, so it's relax and craft time. Nice seeing you guys all popping in here. We are continuing block number 7 of the Splendid Sampler sew along. Block number 7 is completely embroidered, and we're going to continue on that embroidery tonight. Thanks for coming in, guys. Hello. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we create lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer as well. Nails! My nails match the embroidery a little bit tonight. So I'm going to flip you guys around. This is from thesplendidsampler.com. It's currently a year-long quilt-along. We're only on block 7. There's going to be 100 blocks in all. New block tomorrow. They get the mystery blocks get released every Thursday and Sunday, so we get a new one. So we won't finish this one quite yet. So we'll have to pop back to this one later because we'll start number 7 or number 8. It'll be number 8 tomorrow. But we won't forget about him. We'll keep working on him after we're done with the next block. So I'm going to tilt you guys around and we'll get going. Flip. There we are. So let me know what y'all are working on tonight. It's nice seeing you. Oh, hello, guys. Thanks for coming in. All right. So where we left off, we were stitching. We were using a split stitch on this, just because a split stitch gives kind of a more filled in kind of shape. We're going for this inky look, and it just kind of is more of a mass of stitches versus seeing all the little stitches, I think, with the split stitch. Oh, you're embroidering your mother-in-law pillow. Oh, how fun. I was trying to start knitting a sleeve, but I had a frog. No good. That sucks. That's the worst, having to pull everything out. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to try making these thicks and thins of the lines. And so I've gone around this once with stitches, but now I'm going back to where some of these thicker areas are, here, and I've already gone here and here to add more of a thickness. So if you look overall, it goes thick to thin to thick. So that's what we're doing here by just adding another row of stitches right next to it. I already have this all threaded and ready to go from last night, so I'm going to just get started. Oh, you saw one made out of hexies today. Yeah, a lot of people are, instead of embroidering this center area, the quilt part, they're using fabric and kind of making mini quilts and stitching those on, and those are pretty cute too, I think. But I thought I'd try doing the whole embroidery in one color sort of look for this. Oh, working on a quilt for my great nephew's baby clothes. Wow, that's neat. What a great way to reuse that. I'm summarizing a ubiquitous computing publication. Nice. Oh no. It's really early where you are too, isn't it? It's like 5 a.m. or something, right? Alright, so I only have a few stitches on this. Oh man, I'm getting tangled tonight. Hopefully that stops after a little while. So little split stitches. If you go to last night's scope, I kind of explained them a little bit more. You can see all my periscopes. They're all saved. You can go to Catch. It's katch.me/penguinandfish, and all my replays are there. And I actually categorize all the Splendid Sampler blocks together, so you can see them all there as I'm making them. New one tomorrow. I'm kind of excited. It looks they released like a little mini preview on the Facebook page, and it looks like it might be another pieced block. Where we just sew it all together. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun trading off the embroidery with the pieced. I don't know if it's pieced for sure. It just kind of looked that way. All right, I'm gonna start these stripes. Just I ended up here, so I might as well do this stripe. I'm gonna go towards the top, and then I'll fill in all these thicknesses underneath. So I'm gonna just start on the top line. Do you like the whipped back stitch? The back stitch, that's where you do a back stitch and then you kind of whip around the stitch when you're done. I don't do that very often, just because I like keeping things super duper simple. I use hardly any stitches in my embroideries, or I just kind of use the most basic stitches. I'd love to play with it though a little bit more. It gives like a really pretty effect to the back stitches. I just haven't done it very often. Oh yeah, I haven't done this before either with the thick and thin lines. It was actually a suggestion on the pattern. So here's the pattern right here. And Amy Sinibaldi, who's the designer, she actually mentioned, hey, to make it look more like the ink drawing, because in her drawing she has thicks and thins, to make it look more like that, go back over your lines and stitch next to them to create some thickness. And so I'm using her lines as a guide, and I'm trying that out. And I mean, that's why I'm doing this whole Splendid Sampler anyway, is just to learn from other designers and see what they do and, get better and try new things. I embroider all the time, and I've never done thicks and thins like this. When I do my patterns, I usually just have my lines are all the same line weight, and then you just stitch over it with the same thickness of stitches the whole entire piece. So it's different for me to see a pattern with these thicks and thin lines, so thin to thick to thin again. So it's been fun for me to play with, for sure. I think it'll look nice when we're done. I mean, I'm using this sticky Fabri-Selvi embroidery stabilizer, and if you guys seen me embroider on here on my videos before, I talk about it all the time, and it dissolves in water. So once we're done stitching and we dissolve it, we'll really get a sense of what this color looks like on the background, the back fabric. So I'm kind of curious. I'm itching to see what it looks like for real. So we'll do that when we're done with all of our stitching. And I mentioned yesterday that I want to, in some of these blocks, like every other block, I want to stitch, you can kind of see here, I've drawn in like our little first heart block number 1. I want to put in some of the blocks that we've already done. So like, here's block number 1 with the little heart and the little corners. And then maybe I'll do block 2 and block 3 and 4 and 5 or something like that. I want to actually stitch little mini versions of the blocks that we already have done in the little quilt here, because I think that'd be a fun kind of tie-in. So we'll be working on this block for a while, but that's the whole point of embroidery too, is just to chill and relax. But yeah, we have some embroidery on block number 4 yet that I'm doing. So we gotta pop back to block 4 at some point, and now we'll have this block 7. So we're running a little behind, but that's okay, because we got the whole year yet, so I'm not too worried about falling too far behind. I'm only working on it here with you guys, so it's not like I'm sitting around. Oh, hello, Teresa. It's not like I'm sitting around, for the whole day and finishing this up. I'm just doing it with you guys here. All right, I'm gonna go back the other way. Let's see how that works. All these other ones I've been kind of going in the same direction. Like these ones I'm all going down, but let's try going up and down. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm really excited about this block. So what I'm doing now is adding that extra thickness. So wherever I see black, I'm gonna stitch in. So I think I'll let this be thin here, but I'm gonna go from here to here, and I might even add a couple little extra ones in there. to get these little thicks and thins in there. I'm gonna rotate. I find it kind of easier to stitch away from me. It kind of depends on the stitch too, just whatever feels most natural is kind of what I go with. So I'll rotate the embroidery a lot when I stitch. It's fun to see everyone's interpretation of the blocks, though, all the different ways to do the quilt, and I love all the little embroidery that everyone's doing. It's nice to see people doing embroidery. I like that. It kind of forces you to just slow down and go with the process, and you don't have to speed and do the block in 2 seconds. You can actually sit and relax and, you know, watch a movie and stitch, and I really love that. Whoop! Dropped my needle there. Did mom start her block 7? She texted me this morning, so she's picked fabric and she's picked her floss. I think she's doing one color, like what I'm doing here. I don't know if she actually started stitching, but this morning she did send me her color choices. She was wondering which floss she should use. Okay, I think I'm going to end that there. I got kind of my thin and thick going. I think I'm going to just leave it right like that. So I think I'm going to jump up to here and then do this line down. Now this line stays pretty thin the whole entire way, so I'll probably just, let's make the first stitch here. I'll probably just do one row for this one. Do I ever use a plastic hoop or always wooden? No, I use a plastic hoop sometimes. I don't really have a preference. I have a lot more sizes of the wooden hoops. I do like the wooden hoops because when I'm done with them, if I want, I can paint them or, you know, decorate them a little bit easier than a plastic hoop if I wanted to like frame the embroidery in the hoop. So I do kind of like having my wooden hoops around. I do have, oh, thanks so much. I do have a plastic hoop that I use occasionally, but I use it only because it's bigger than the wooden hoops that I typically keep on hand. It's a 10-inch hoop, I believe. So if I'm doing a little bit bigger embroidery, I might break that out. But I don't really have a preference between wooden or plastic. Working down little patchwork rows. You feel like it stays tighter in the wooden hoop versus plastic? Oh, that's good to know. I could do some testing. Oh, tauter. More taut. Yeah, that'd be something good to test. A lot of times it varies from hoop to hoop because the manufacturer isn't going to make each one exactly perfect and the same all the time. Like one the screw closure might close a little tighter or looser, or, you know, one hoop might be just a fraction of a millimeter off compared to another hoop. So it's kind of hard to know even within the same manufacturer. So you kind of just have to find one that you like and get used to it and go with it. And a lot of times you don't even need the fabric to be really taut in it. Some stitches are actually easier to do with the fabric being not as taut in the hoop. Like I think the stem stitch is easier when it's looser. Oh, you haven't tried a wooden one in years? I haven't tried. I know there's some where you can clamp around the edges, and I haven't tried one of those yet. So that's something I'd like to give a go sometime. I'll have to do a post or something. I'll have to test a bunch of different ones and give like a review of them or something. That'd be kind of fun. You want to try one of those too? The ones that clamp? Yeah, the reason that I suspect they might be, yeah, I think that's what they're called, right, Kathy? Something, yeah, a Q snap or something like that. I'm thinking it might not crease the fabric as much. So I have it in the hoop right here, so I'm going to have like hoop, like a ring around this. Technically, it's helpful to take the fabric out of the hoop after you use it every single time, because then it will, I'm going to stitch his little feet while I'm down here. But it'll kind of put a little crease on it, so it's good to take it out each time when you're not using it. But since I'm gonna put this in water when I'm done to dissolve this, I'm not too worried about it. Oh, you did bare toes. It does have like tiny little sock lines, so I think I'll do that. But she says to do all those little details with one strand of floss, so I'll go back in and do all that one strand stuff later. I considered maybe doing all their bodies and heads and stuff in the back stitch, but I'm gonna I decided to just keep going with my stem stitch. I'll just do stem stitch for the whole thing. He never wears socks to bed. That's funny. Hey Vanessa, thanks for coming in. I have to wear socks in the winter, otherwise I'm just freezing. But it's getting springier, that's for sure. All right, little foot number 1, and let's do little foot number 3 or 2. Jeez, 3. Clearly, I'm sleepy. I'll have to, I think, if it's a pieced block tomorrow, I'm going to have to break out the sewing machine again. And I won't have my little candle. It's been kind of nice these past couple days to just have my little candle going for the embroidery again. My nice clean table and relaxing candle. With the sewing machine, it's like a whole production. Got to get the iron out and the cutting board and all the goodies. Embroidery is just relaxing. Oh, thanks so much, Vanessa. We are working our way around it. Okay, it looks like there might be a little more line down in here. I'm gonna put a few stitches in this bottom line to make it a hair thicker down here. Isn't this one cute? It's been surprisingly fun for me to work on other people's designs like this, because you know I rarely work on other people's stuff, so it's been kind of an interesting thing for me to just kind of go with it. It's been really fun. All right, we'll put another little stitch down here to make it a little thicker. All right, and then it looks like there's it makes it a little thicker down in this corner, so we'll do that. Give it 2 little stitches. Oh, are you guys not getting my notification? I wonder if you have notifications off for me. Like if you go to Penguin and Fish. Oh, you did? You had it off? If you go to anybody that you follow, there'll be a little symbol next to them that can be turned on and off if you want notifications from that person. All right, I am going to do this line here now since it's pretty close. I'm going to actually weave in the end a little bit so I'm not making a huge jump to that line. I don't want like a big pile of extra thread back here, so I'm just going to kind of go like that to weave in a little bit. All right, so then I'm gonna pop in here again. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go that I did here. I'm gonna kind of go along that top edge and then come back around to fill in these thicker parts. Oh, that's no fun. He's feeling sick. Oh, your phone and iPad are delayed from each other. Yeah, I'd like to figure out how to do this on my iPad a little bit better, like have it near and maybe having the feed go on, because then I can maybe read comments a little bit better. Oh no, are you feeling rough because you're sick, or are you feeling rough from the whole 30, Cora? How's that been going? I know I gotta go to bed early tonight. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit too. Oh, just a cold. Not the whole 30 blues. I'm kind of doing a little bit bigger stitches than I normally would, but that's okay. And sometimes I'm doing smaller stitches. Sometimes I'll go for trying to get the stitches all the same size, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect anything. Just character to it as well. So, I mean, sometimes on these long straight areas, I'm doing a little bit bigger stitches, and then around like these itty bitty areas that I have to do like a big curve real quick, I'll do some smaller stitches. Oh, I just broke up. Yeah, it's looking pretty choppy tonight, actually. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. All right, I'm gonna do a second row of stitches. I think Periscope, or it's actually, this might not be Periscope. This might just be my my phone, or just actually phones in general. I don't think they like when you do quick movements in front of the camera and in front of the lens. And when I'm bringing my hand in and out like this to stitch, I think it's freaking out. So I either have to go a lot slower or something, I don't know. But I don't know if I can do that. That'd be just too weird to move my hand slower for embroidery. So we're just adding row after row of these split stitches to make it a little thicker. It's been kind of fun. Oh, late for the party. Thanks for coming in. We are working on block 7 of the Splendid Sampler. He's coming along. No, it's a light blue, and it's kind of hard to tell. It's right here, actually. So this is the color. So it looks like white when it's on this dark, a lot more when it's on, this white backer. So it's kind of funny to see how we are really choppy tonight, aren't we? This might be a short one. We'll see how it goes. But otherwise, we will start up again tomorrow for block number 8. Can't believe it already. We're almost to the 10 block point, Next week we'll have been done 10 blocks. Silly question, what's the furthest you jump with stitches? I hate to cut my thread. Oh, you know what? It depends. It depends how much thread I still have on my needle and how lazy or not I want to be, exactly like what you said. But what I don't jump very far, though. Like, I'd maybe jump from here to here. If I'm jumping farther, like here to here, like I did down here, I jumped. Where did I jump? I think I went from like here to here. What I did, instead of just jumping, I wove into the back of some of the stitches and then